it because you're starting to understand it within your own context. But we have the next players coming up here. Oh my gosh! Wow. Does he? Now, PrepCoin's picture. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that live?
That feels. Doesn't it kind of remind you somewhat? I can't. Is it like Captain Walfred? A little bit.
Oh man, that looks terrible.
Yeah, Captain Walfred.
Captain Walfred. Meanwhile, we've got TimTimmyTimTim, just about higher quality than a stick figure picture. Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
Hey.
Hey. Tim. Okay.
I miss you guys.
I miss you too, Timmy. So let's get into this a little bit. Tell people that don't know who you are, what charity you vying for today. Talk to us.
Hi guys, my name is Tim. That's my actual name, and I stream Shadowverse on Twitch. I also stream a little bit of other games. And yeah, I chose Last Chance for Animals. I just looked on the charity list and found the charity that has a really good rating, so that, you know, the charity isn't like one of those shady ones that has a bad rating and try to get the money or things like that. So it's a pretty good charity, and it's for animals. It just believes that animals, you know, they offer you pain, and that we should not have any kind of like animal testing for, you know, scientific purposes, or for clothing, for anything for them. So they just try to protect the animals. So.
Perfect.
And I own like 3 hamsters, so I just chose that.
Gotta keep them safe.
So adorable. We have, oh man, learning about all these Shadowverse players and all the pets that they have is just so...
And the fact that they all like animals.
It's very hard.
Shadowverse fans, they like animals.
Let's talk a little bit to PrepCoin. How are you doing, my man?
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you quite that well.
Speak up.
No, we can hear you just fine. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
It's a good
well.
day. It's a good day for Shadowverse. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, PrepCoin, tell us a little bit about. I feel like everybody in Shadowverse knows PrepCoin, but tell us a little bit about your stream. Kind of where can people find you, and what are the kinds of stuff that you do?
Well, my name is PrepCoin now. If you didn't guess already, I'm a Twitch streamer. I've been doing this since about the beginning of the year. I've been pretty consistent in streaming Shadowverse and not really anything else. You can find me at twitch.tv/PrepCoinNL. I'm trying to I'm trying to make this a full-time living, ambitious or not. So I dedicate a lot of my time to streaming and spending time in the Shadowverse community and just trying to hang out with people and just try to make this a viable living.
Nice. Perfect. Well, it's certainly a difficult path to endeavor on, and takes, you know, a lot of patience, time, and energy. So really appreciate you taking a step out to do that, and especially with Shadowverse as a game. Kind of, you know, the community really needs a lot of strong figures and people who are kind of dedicated to it. So appreciate that a lot. Tell us very quickly about the charity that you're supporting and kind of any kind of deeper things about it that you really appreciated.
Apologies for the dog in the background.
More animals.
So I am playing for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This is an issue that's kind of been near and dear to my heart for about as long as I can remember, especially since a few years ago I had a friend that passed away that way, and even still a few years later, people still post on his Facebook saying that they miss him, and just seeing that sort of hole that it can create. So if I could in any way by playing Shadowverse be able to help contribute to even saving like one person from that fate, then I think that would be among the best things I've ever done streaming. So
it's a wonderful cause. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. Condolences, of course, to not just your friend, but all those out there who are affected by kind of these troubles that they have to go through and the hardships. But
absolutely.
Again, we're doing something to try to push the ball forward on that front.
That's right. Shadowverse decks.
We're excited to see what these people have brought, what these communities have picked. So let's take a look at the decks here. All right, we're going to kick off with PrepCoin's support cannon.
Yes.
Support cannon?
Yes.
PrepCoin, tell us about this deck. How did you get it? What does it do?
Yeah, so for like pretty much every streamer, we were asked to have the community choose for our deck. So I gave a list of about, I don't know, 20, 25 decks, and that ranged from like PTP Blood to like, Eidolon Haven to Support Cannon Sword. And Support Cannon Sword has always been just like a Twitch chat favorite. I'm not exactly sure why, but there's just something so, I don't know.
It's one of my favorites. I just get it. It's great.
Yeah, it's like a card that feels like it's almost good enough, but it's never quite been there. So it's really exciting to be able to play this in a tournament environment.
We'll see if it can work. Let's take a look at TimTimmyTim's deck. Tim, I keep getting that wrong. I keep saying
Tim, and really it's just Timmy. You know, he's that small child that you like to call Timmy, and you pat him on the back, tell him he's doing a good job. Timmy, talk to us about Nighttime, please.
Yeah, so this is actually one of my viewers in Nighttime. He loves Sword and he loves Castle in the Sky. And yeah, I asked just my viewers what decks they want me to play, and he submitted this one, which is there's no Castle in the Sky, but it's a PTP Sword deck. And just for him, I decided to pick this deck and play it.
Great.
PTP Sword.
Yeah, not something that you see often. Do you think it actually has a chance to work?
It's actually pretty good. I played it a little bit, and it basically plays like Control Sword, so you just fatigue the opponent's deck, and you just build up your board, and they pretty much can't deal with it. So it's pretty good. I did lose to D-Shift because they're way faster than this deck, but I believe no one bought D-Shift, so I think we have a good chance.
I would hope not today. Yeah,
oh my gosh. If any dimensions were shifting, I would get off this table, fly to the country or state that they are living in, and take their phone, rebuild their deck, and tell them kindly to play again with a new deck.
Any last words for each other, guys, before you head into battle?
May the best Amulet Sword deck win.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, well, the theme of this match is incredible.
Yes.
How did that happen?
How did this actually happen today? All of our matchups are great today.
Somebody's working magic back there.
Yes, somebody is working magic back there.
All right, let's get the match kicked off here. We're waiting for them to jump into the lobby and play their game, but I'm excited to see some Support Cannon.
PTP Sword versus Support Cannon Sword. Now, Support Cannon I've played before, and I've had some success with it. It can work if you're not dead the turn you play your Support Cannon. PTP Sword, I can't say the same.
I would feel like PTP Sword, actually, if we were to even take it seriously.
You can't even take it seriously right now.
If we were to take it seriously,
yeah,
I would think that Support Cannon kind of really hurts it, right? Because, like, if you're not super, I mean, what kind of a board can it put together by turn 5?
Well,
if you play a Support Cannon and like you're really reliant on board, then every turn after that you're just automatically having like the rush effect plus value.
You have advantage, but with PTP, I feel like his deal is he just wants to put into play as many followers as he can, whether they be big ones, small ones, whatever. Support Cannon's only going to hit one target, right? So if you can fill up the board repeatedly with Odahimes and White Paladins and things like that, you can really kind of take a lot of the gas away from what Support Cannon's trying to do.
We'll see if that happens. Matchups that we've never seen before.
Right. Definitely not. This is definitely not a matchup we've ever seen.
Timmy NL. Oh my god, there's so many Captain Walfreds everywhere.
Timmy representing PrepCoin with the NL after his name. Respect, or is that a diss? I don't know.
I'm not hard to understand what is happening right here, right now. The weather seems to be very moody today, Exodium.
That's right. That's right. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop here. Both players have a good curve to start with. TimTimmyTimTim has his Staircase to Paradise to start things off, and PrepCoin has his 2-drop into 3-drop into possibly a 4-drop into a 5-drop. Yeah, we're looking good.
Nice. Good job counting.
Yes, I like counting.
I have trouble with that very often.
I do, but only when I'm not playing OTK Roach.
Oh.
Yeah. When I'm playing it, I can do math. When I'm not, I don't know what math is.
You are one with the roaches.
Yes.
Feel emotionally you are tied to them.
I like them. I live with them. You know, you've seen that movie, right? Where the guy like lives in his apartment with all of his roaches, and they're like his friends, and
I have no idea.
They give him motivation. I think it's like Jack's apartment or something like that.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, it's not. Well, hey, roaches are clean, okay? Anyway, let's stop talking about roaches. Let's get back into this. All right, so Mars
gonna kick card.
Yeah, Mars gonna kick things off. Mars, one of the greatest cards from the new set. 2/3. Whenever you play a follower after it, it initially gets a toughness boost, a defense boost of 1, and then it gets a clash effect forever, essentially, of whenever it attacks something, it gets +1 attack.
We're already beginning to see the parts of value in Tim's deck. Just that one additional toughness, meaning that things can remain on board.
Yes.
And kind of getting that early game board space here is going to be super important.
And I think both players' experience with playing Sword tell them that, right? As long as you can eke out board advantage slowly, and just like you said, you're leaving these followers in play, even with 1 health, it's okay.
And that's right, the way support cannon works, it pings a follower, a random follower, and if there are no followers, it pings face.
That's right, pings face. So
if there's even 1 defense on the board,
right,
the support cannon
soak up all of the damage that the support cannon follower will do.
I honestly, like, if I was a commander behind that fleet, I would be so upset. Like, why are you stop shooting the chums? Just shoot the thing, right? Just shoot that.
See, I feel the complete opposite, right? So, like, when support cannon's there and you're this huge commander that's jumping into battle, as soon as you jump into battle, there's this cannon that just roars and kills something immediately, right? I mean, that's pretty cool.
But everything needs to go face.
I mean, I can't deny that. Smorking is great.
Smorking feels great.
Yeah, it does feel great. Attack your opponent right in the face.
Play it, play Gawain. Do it, play it. There's 2 of them.
Choose one. This is why you play it, right? So that you can evolution it and then get all of the reduced costs on all the commanders in your hand.
Yeah.
But there's not really anything you need to reduce here. Otohime may still be able to play on curve.
Yeah, and it's interesting to try to combo with Otohime because she fills up the board space.
Yes.
So, Otohime actually not a card that we've seen for a long time, but in the last, like, 2 weeks,
all over the place. 1 of's here, 3 of's there. It kind of is a nombo with the staircase here because it would have taken up a board space. But TimTimmyTimTim recognizing that and sacrificing his own follower that turn instead of going face so that he can actually get it off the board for the Otohime turn.
What did he say? 100 battlefields, 100 stories? What did he say?
That sounds right.
100 stories?
Yeah, 100 battlefields, 100 stories. That sounds right.
Wow. That's implying that he lives and he's dead.
Yep, super dead.
Yeah. How do you tell a story if you're dead?
Wayne never stays alive because if you allow him to stay alive, he will keep reducing on every attack the commander's in hand. So you got to get him off the table.
He's like the follower version of Merlin.
That's right. Actually, yep.
And everybody wants to kill Merlin.
Yeah. Merlin's one of those cards that's really easy to deal with, though. So I feel like Merlin doesn't stay in play unless you dimension shift behind him.
So I feel like this was, like made for Barbarossa?
Sure. If anything could be made for Barbarossa, I guess Support Cannon could because you get extra copies back into your hand of him if his ability does if his ability does go off.
It won't be long now.
All right, this White Paladin is going to make a ton of dudes and the Mars combo. Oh!
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Boom.
It's not
Boom.
enough.
Boom.
Those are some strong boys right there.
That's right, strong boys.
Led by the White Paladin herself, and now we've got 1-2s versus 1-2s and a 5-3 in the mix.
What's funny is Mars plus White Paladin does a better Otohime than Otohime does.
Yeah.
And it's 6 play points, right?
Yeah, just for +1. Of course, 2 cards. Difficult to get.
Right,
in,
sure,
but
sure.
Still, you're right. This is actually all have ward, all have this clash effect.
And now these Otohime tokens don't really feel that powerful.
You and I,
Yeah.
They feel like they're just going to get run over by these White Paladin tokens.
Oh!
You are done for.
The Luminous Knight leading the charge will be able to go into the White Paladin. But as you mentioned, it just means that all of these, I guess they...
Now they trade at least.
Yeah, they trade at least, but they're all kind of sleeping with the fishes, so to speak.
That's right. And unable to deal with this Mars, which never feels good.
May the dark clouds be dispersed.
So that means Round Table Assembly could come out for PrepCoin next turn, and he could do the same thing again.
Got the Barbarossa back.
Is that the support cannon that he just drew?
It is.
Ooh.
Play it. Do it. Play
Come
it.
on. We know you have Mars advantage, okay? But support cannon, though?
Just do it.
Just do it.
If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it?
That's right. Now, all of our players have opted not to play the cards that are part of their combo yet. In essence, just going with better gameplay.
Mhm.
What's going on here today?
Yeah, that's not what it's about.
That's not what it's about.
We're about swinging it wide and big.
Absolutely. That should actually be the new motto of the show.
Swinging it wide and big.
That's right. That's right.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
So let's see if PrepCoin decides to make the optimal play here, or if he decides to play that support cannon.
The right play.
I
There's the
think
optimal
that's
play and there's a right play.
You know what? They're both the same thing. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I guess.
If you're playing support cannon, the optimal play is to put support cannon into play.
Oh, God. I am ashamed at what I am viewing right now. Are you going for another one of these? You've already done not enough for you?
This is a crazy turn. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
This is really powerful, but I'm disappointed.
Same.
Yeah. Now these tokens are going to get huge, up to 3 defense now because of 2 triggers from Mars and double clash ability. Yeah, those are some strong little guys over there.
Yeah. They might be little, but they aren't. They aren't
grow.
weak. Yeah.
Yeah, they grow.
They have studied up the benefits of nutrition and exercise.
And I think Timmy is realizing that even if he draws a PTP here, it's not going to do anything. I think that's the only thing going on in his mind right now.
He's got 12 shadows, but how do you wipe a board that is of largely 3 defense or higher?
And you're playing Sword. It's not easy. And we haven't seen Cyclone Blade. Cyclone Blade, you guys might even forgot what it does. It's a 5 play point spell that takes your highest attack follower you choose, and then it will deal that amount of damage to every other follower in play, including your own. One of the only board wipes that Sword's ever had access to, but still, we don't see it.
It is quite pricey.
It is quite pricey. It costs 5. That's right. Most effects that wipe the board don't cost less than that, though.
Yeah.
I gotta say 5 is probably the cheapest, but you have to have a follower in play, which could make it cost more because you might not have anything in play the turn that you have access to it.
So the counter will be a White Paladin in response, but as we know, these White Paladins, now that the tokens are actually 3 defense, will survive a swing even with that clash buff up. And on the crackback too, because they get the double clash effect, that they'll do even more damage.
And these might be the most well-protected Marsai.
Marsai, I think, is the term.
That I've ever seen. If Timmy can't find a way to deal with these, he's just going to lose out on pure value over time. Sword is very board-centric with its followers, and if you cannot get those Mars off the table, every follower that PrepCoin plays for the rest of the game is just going to be more impactful than anything that Timmy is doing.
Here comes the Barbarossa again, except this time he's buff, and he's tough, and he's looking for something that's a little rough.
And he's here to blow your house down?
We'll see if he's up to snuff.
Oh, you're just
Come on, Exodium. Help me here.
I'm not a rhymer, okay? I don't know how to rhyme.
My God, look at these things buff up.
Yeah, this is just full board after full board that Timmy has to deal with. But this is really the first crack at face that PrepCoin's gone for. He's been playing board control the entire game, electing not to go face most of the time here. But I think that's the right call. When you have a board like this, it's really easy to maintain control of the game.
Now just one ultimate carrot, standing, holding the ground. The ultimate carrot against all odds.
Now, in real life, if that carrot actually took a swing at the board, I'm pretty sure it would clear the whole thing. I mean, you've had some run-ins with the carrot.
The carrot is a terrifying, very annoying individual. Would not recommend altercation with the carrot. Do recommend that you banish it, however that is. The stories are true. The legends are true.
That's right. I had to cut it up once with Wizardess of Oz's sword.
Oh.
At TwitchCon. No, it wasn't TwitchCon. It was PAX.
PAX, yeah.
Yeah, because it attacked her, and then I took her sword and dealt with the carrot. But of course, as we know, the carrot can't die, and it came back for you. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I think it got mad, and it got more well. It learned.
Yeah. Yep.
So it won't be cut up by the Wizardess of Oz sword again.
So Timmy taking a long time to deliberate that play here, but does decide to go with the Gwaine to possibly fill up the board in successive turns here.
That's going to be really important because he is falling behind. These double Marses are just giving so much value, it's just hard for the numbers to even keep up. Oh my God, that's... the death touch. But that thing was real buff.
Yeah, when you have to clear the biggest follower and leave the ward, or leave the Marses
here. If you
here.
don't play support cannon now...
Yeah. What are you doing?
Come on.
What are you doing?
Come on.
What are you doing?
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
3, 2, 1, 3. 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 0.5. 0.2.
The countdown ensues.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
come
my!
on!
Oh God! Somebody hold me back.
Yeah.
Hold me back right now.
So-
It's not enough.
Somebody in PrepCoin's community, especially the one that gave him support cannon to play, tell him what he did wrong today, please, even if he wins this game. Yep. Yep. Gotta play support cannon.
Bop, bop.
You know what, PrepCoin, you know, I can't say that he's doing anything wrong. If he wants his charity to win, you know, more
Yeah.
power to him to take every
you know,
advantage here.
Sounds like it was a very important cause to him as
Absolutely.
well. So
Absolutely.
cannot blame him at all. Sport can.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the PTP is drawn for TimTimmyTimTim here.
He's at 20 shadows.
He's getting there.
But how do you live?
That's a good question. He does have a few gelts here. He does have an evolution orb left. However, he's got many targets that you'd want to hit with that. Luminous Mage, a great target, because if he doesn't deal with that, another evolution point will be given to PrepCoin, essentially, for a commander. If he doesn't deal with the Mars, then his followers are just going to keep maintaining what you've seen this entire game with board presence. He's in a really tough spot here.
And I think one of the important things to note here is if there is a world where he actually does make it to his PTP, it'd be so effective. against this deck.
Super effective, yes. Against Sword, yeah. Being able to clear out the board turn after turn. Pretty essential to a deck that just tries to stay on the board turn after turn.
Would agree with that statement. All right, Luminous Mage.
So
Are
PTP, I just want to let some viewers know out there just how that interaction works. Path to Purgatory is an amulet, costs 4. And if you have 30 shadows at the end of your turn, it will deal 6 damage to every enemy, including their followers and their face. So, very effective in the late game if you can get there.
Interesting that he threw away the ward. Would you have evolved the Amelia instead?
Yes, got to keep the wards here. You're at 10, you're against Sword. I'm scared.
I think Albert's coming down to end the day. There's still a Mars there, so that Albert is going to lift weights twice because he's a bro and he likes to work out.
That's right. Albert is a super bro that loves to work out.
Yeah.
He loves to get buff.
I think it's the end. Oh, no, that's that boy. Oh, God.
It's not enough.
Look at him. Oh,
Here we go. The final salvo from PrepCoin here is going to seal the match.
he ends up using the Albert on face. But, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. PrepCoin winning that match. And I mean,
Apologies.
I think that was a good demonstration of Mars.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Mars is a very good card.
What's up, Mars? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Marses down behind a bunch of wards, and especially against a deck that doesn't have good just removal.
Right.
That is a headache. That is
Yeah.
just an
Pretty sure
absolute headache.
PrepCoin took board advantage and just never gave it back.
Mhm.
He's like, these Marses are sticking. You can't do anything about it. You can't win.
So what's interesting is, like, I feel like that could happen for PTP Sword, right? Like, what if PTP Sword just did the same thing?
It could have. I think maybe he just got lesser of a draw. That's all. And less evolution orbs to work with. So
Let's take a talk to the players here. Kind of reconnect with them. Tim, did you have a board at any point in the game? I think he's muted.
I think he's muted.
I think he's muted. I think he got hit so hard that his microphone broke.
Oh,
There he is.
sorry. Hey,
Hey, buddy.
yeah, my board, I had a board every time I ended my turn, but then when it went back to my turn afterwards, it was gone.
Yeah,
So, and then his board
Alakazam.
got even bigger.
Mm.
Some hand waving, and PrepCoin was like, "Oh, where'd your cards go?"
How relieved were you when you drew your PTP?
I was close. I think I had I needed like 8 shadows left, but by then I was already dead because he had like 2 Mars on the board, and they just gave him so much value. So
Well, if
That's
I were to
close.
give you a professional recommendation, I think you need to include a duck and a cyclone blade. I think that would really help.
Yes. Bring it back.
yeah, I
Tim-
think so too.
TimTim, thank you so much for participating in the tournament. Sorry that you had to get eliminated here. Any last words that you want to shout out and again, kind of plugging your channel?
Yeah, thanks for having me in this tournament. It's really fun, and I think it's great that you guys are doing this for the community. So thank you so much. And thanks for having me. And yeah, it was fun. Thanks for playing against me, PrepCoin. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/TimTimmyTimTim.
TimTimmyTimTim. Remember that.
Remember the
Tim,
order. Tim.
Timmy. TimTim.
There you go. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
looking forward to seeing you again at another event, Tim. And
right.
PrepCoin.
Talk to us. How does it feel?
I was actually pretty nervous going into that game because very quickly I thought it was going to turn into a resource battle and we weren't really going to be like smorking each other down. But at the same time, when I used the final Evo, he still had 2 Evos and I was like really nervous about that. But turns out having 2 Mars behind an infinite number of wards is pretty good.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That we were talking about that. That felt pretty good. All right, so I'm assuming you're excited to get into your next match.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Perfect.
So one question before you go. Support cannon in hand.
Yes. Why no support cannon in play?
Well, from the turn that I played it, it was just mana inefficient. Like the turn I could have first played it, it was 7 mana, and then after that I didn't have a 3 cost because I played those, so it was 8 mana, and it just... Like, I'm streaming at the same time, and everyone chats like, play it! And that's why I hesitated on the obvious Albert lethal, because I was thinking if there's like a way I could do support cannon lethal, but I didn't see it, so just had to kill him with Albert.
Alright, well, you know, we will forever be disappointed.
We'll get there today, I hope. We'll see support cannon in
One
play.
day.
We'll live the dream.
You're moving on in rounds, so we're going to kind of push the tournament forward, but when we see PrepCoin again, we'll see that.
I'm praying. I'm praying
for it. Hey, you know, today we are one with Twitch chat. We're going to throw out our